Hey, how's it going everybody? It's Tanner here, and welcome back to another Ninjago Season 11 discussion video here on the channel. In today's video, we're going to be going through each one of these several minifigures that will be released in conjunction with the Ninjago Summer 2019 line of Ninjago sets. So basically, anything from Season 11 is a go here. Again, I should clarify, we really don't know if this is Season 11 or if this is specifically a new miniseries, but I'm just going to be calling it Season 11 for the sake of consistency. And we're not really going to be covering the show in this video itself, we're just mainly going to be looking at the minifigures associated with the show. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and look through these here. We do have every single Ninjago Season 11 minifigure that is, available in the new Ninjago sets coming out for the summer of 2019. And basically, I wanted to compile this list of if you were to get every single Ninjago set from this new upcoming wave, these are all the minifigures that you would have. You will be seeing a few repeats on this list, but we're just going to be going through and talking about them, and I'm going to be sort of giving my own thoughts on them. And I think these are in the actual set order, so if you're following along on a list of your own, with the list of sets, if you have them in order from set number, I believe these will line up. I'm not entirely sure on that, but we're going to go ahead and go through here, and again, I'm just going to be giving my thoughts on them, and you will be seeing repeats. So again, here we go, and let's get started. So the first thing we have here is this Lloyd minifigure. Now this is not the full Ninjago Lloyd Season 11 Ninja minifigure. Obviously it has the shoulder armor, but it does not have the mask. Why they could not include the mask, I have no idea. But here we have a half mask for Lloyd, which was, around during the rebooted and Tournament of Elements saga as a primary mask for the ninja suits. And I don't know why they do this. This is a big problem that I have with Ninjago sets in general. They just always go ahead and do this with random minifigures for whatever reason. But I guess if you don't have the Lloyd hairpiece yet, if you somehow don't, then, this is a good way to get that, because this does come in the cheapest set. The new shoulder armor for all the ninja is pretty cool. I like how it looks, especially on the back. I don't know if we have a picture of the back, but it does look pretty cool. And of course, Lloyd's actual suit itself is fine. I don't like how he doesn't wear gloves. I don't know what that's about. I also don't like how he has one brown arm. Again, it has a little bit of asymmetry to that, which I guess for some people is pretty good, but I really prefer my minifigures to actually have some sort of symmetry. This reminds me of what they used to do with Hero Factory, if you guys remember what that was. Also in that set, we have an ice samurai person here. I like the red that they're actually using for the ice samurai. I think it's a nice contrast with the actual ice element. And we have I believe her name is Akita. Could be wrong about that, but this is the wolf that Lloyd will be, I guess, journeying with in Season 11. We do have a human form of this character as well. We'll see that later on in the sets as we go through these minifigures here. Next up, we have the new 2019 Cole. This is the full thing, not the Forbidden Spinjitzu Cole, but the actual full suited up Cole, and I really like the way that this one looks. I wish he had sleeves though. That's one gripe I have with the figure, is that he's going back to his sleeveless look, which I really, don't care for too much, but I think it's fine here. I like how an accent color for this is a very bright orange. I think that works better than what Legacy did in having, the brown be the accent color. And previous versions of Cole have had, gray be an accent, but I think orange actually works really well for this one. I really like the way that this figure looks. It combines a nice array of black and orange and brown and gray. I think in general it just screams Cole, which I guess is what I really wanted from this figure. And the symbol on his mask is, of course, I believe the Ninjago symbol for the letter C, because each of the ninja have, for some reason, the first letter of their first name on their actual hoods this time around. So I really don't know why that decision was made, but at least it provides a nice little look towards the ninja minifigures. And also in this very same set, we have Kai in his full Season 11 attire. Once again, Kai is a little bit too simple in my opinion. I mean, he has a lot of belts and things like that. An accent color for him is, of course, the sort of tannish color, which I guess is pretty cool. But in general, he really doesn't have that much detailing on him compared to some of the other minifigures from the Ninja line. Of course, he does have that same shoulder pad, though, so that's pretty cool to see. And of course, the symbol on his hood means, I think that's the letter K, right, in the Ninjago language? I mean, I would imagine so. But overall, you guys, this figure, I don't know, it's not my favorite Kai figure ever. I mean, I think it's fine, it's passable for what Season 11 is trying to do with the ninja this time around, but I really don't like the way that this Kai looks necessarily when I compare it to some of the other original Kai minifigures that came before this one. And here we have our first look at a pyro snake. So I believe this is just going to be the random generic pyro snake henchman. We see a lot of these pop up in a lot of the sets moving forward, and I like the look of the pyro snakes overall. I think they're an interesting villain, and I can't wait to see what they actually do in the actual show whenever that comes out. Next up, we have Zane in his full Season 11 attire. Now, Zane is also an interesting ninja minifigure, in my opinion, this time around, because he does use a lot of blue, especially with the gloves. So I don't know if that's supposed to be representing, his ice element coming forth, or if that's just, the thing. He just has blue gloves in general. Also, what's going on here, we have the letter Z, I think, on his hood. I think that's what that is. I don't really have the full Ninjago translation sheet out in front of me, so I can't really verify that for sure. But I really do like the look of this one. It is very simple, though, like Kai's, but I think with Zane it works a little bit more just because of what Zane is as a character. Of course, he does have that shoulder pad, which I really do like. I love how that works really nicely with the Ninjago Legacy style hood. And of course, everything that you see on the figure is, again, really nice in my opinion. Still a little bit simple, but definitely not too terrible. And of course, he does have his titanium face underneath his hood. In that very same set, we have our first look at a Forbidden Spinjitzu minifigure. This here is Jay in his Forbidden Spinjitzu form. Now, what's weird with these is that in the actual spinners that we get, we'll see those towards the end, but in the actual spinners, the minifigures are different. In the sets, they appear to be just using the masks, but I think what they're going to be doing is just using the torso and leg pieces from the actual J minifigure. So what we're seeing there is probably what the actual J minifigure will look like as it is, except the actual one will have, of course, the shoulder pad and the traditional hood. So really nothing new here with the Forbidden Spinjitzu figures. We've seen these already before, and as for my thoughts on them, I think they're a cool idea, and I can't wait to actually see how this translates into an animation, or at least into the show. And of course, we have another Ice Samurai here once again. I think this one's a general. He's using gray and red again. I really like that color for the ice. I think that works really well. Nice contrast there again. And of course, these guys do remind me a lot of the ice villains from the Legends of Chima theme, which was discontinued a few years ago, if I'm remembering correctly. Here is Kai in his Forbidden Spinjitzu form. Once again, like the J minifigure, you can see that his Forbidden Spinjitzu form in the actual sets just has a different mask and is lacking the armor, so nothing really new here. We've already seen this. Here's another Pyro Snake. We've seen a lot of these, and we will still be seeing more of these pop up later on. And here's another one, not really too exciting there, just missing an armor. And here's something interesting. This is a golden pyro snake. I don't know if this is going to be like the leader, because there's another one popping up in a little bit here that I think might actually be the leader, but this one is all gold, so I'm just going to assume that this one is the actual overall leader of all the pyro snakes, and that looks pretty cool. I mean, I like the gold design for it, and I really like how they're using that same piece that they used for Nadakon as the tail. I think that was a really smart move. Here is, of course, Nia in her Forbidden Spinjitzu form. I really like the gray going on here, and we'll take a closer look at the minifigure when we actually see the full thing later on. But again, like the other Forbidden Spinjitzu figures, this is simply missing the shoulder armor and has a brand new mask. And I think with Nia, that actually works really well. I love the dark metallic gray and the sort of light blue. I think that works really well. Here's the same Kai minifigure that we've seen before. We've already seen this one, so we're just going to move on. Here's another pyro snake. This one is missing the frills that sort of, I don't know what they're really called, but cobras have them, This one appears to be a different type of snake overall, so that's interesting to see, I guess. Otherwise, the torso is pretty much what we've seen from other pyro snakes, just that, that flamed, mummified look, I suppose. Here's another one, but this one has the cobra design. And here is something that I think is interesting. This guy looks to be of, a figure of importance. I mean, he has those Ninjago symbols on the front of him there, and he's an all-black snake, and he's actually using that original snake piece. So what this is, I have no idea, but this looks really interesting, and this guy definitely seems like he could be someone of great importance. Probably not the leader, if I were to say, but he definitely has that sort of importance to him that a lot of the other pyro snakes just don't have. Here's the full version of Lloyd. Again, we already looked at this earlier. He does have the yellow hands, signifying that he is not wearing gloves. Again, the asymmetry is going on here, but he also has the hood this time around, which is really nice. And of course, that symbol on his hood translates to the letter L, I believe, in the Ninjago language. I think that's what it is, right? Each of the ninja have the first letter of their first name as the symbol. I mean, I didn't really check that beforehand, but I think I remember saying that, right? Well, I hope that's right, otherwise this video is going to be a little discombobulated, but nevertheless, we're going to be moving on here. Here is Zane in his Forbidden Spinjitzu form, again, same as his previous version, except it has a different mask with the white and the light blue signifying his ice elemental power, and again, this is missing the shoulder armor. Here's another Ice Samurai. This one appears to be a little bit of a lower grunt, so not too bad there. I really like his shoulder armor. I like how that's sort of a transparent blue color. I really like that look a lot. Here's another Ice Samurai. This one appears to be of a little bit more importance. He's actually wearing that dark gray armor that we saw earlier. And here's just another one that looks pretty much just like a background character, probably going to be used for cannon fodder. Here's another Ice Samurai, and here's another Kai that we've already seen before. And here's Jay in his full ninja garb for the Season 11 sets. As you can see, just like the Forbidden Spinjitzu one earlier, the torso and the legs are exactly the same, but he does have the mask this time with the Ninjago symbol for Jay printed on there, and he does have his shoulder pad. So I really like this Jay overall. I like how the contrast is there between the dark blue and the regular blue. I like how that looks quite a bit. Of course, again, it is kind of simple, but I really kind of like the look of this one. I think this one for Jay might be my favorite next to Cole's minifigure, if we're just specifically looking at the ninja this go round. Speaking of Cole, here is Cole in his Forbidden Spinjitzu form, once again lacking the shoulder pad and sporting a different mask, sort of signifying that his elemental power has awakened. And here is the full version of Nia. So this Nia is actually one of my favorites as well. I like the way that this one looks. So I think out of all the ninja, my favorites have got to be Cole, Jay, and Nia overall, at least for suits this go around, because I really like the way that this Nia looks. Again, she's bringing back the dark gray and the light blue, similar to what she had in seasons 8 and 9, and she's dropping the dark red that we saw her in the Legacies set, so I really like that. I like how she's back to using gray, because that's what I think she should be using, and again, I believe that symbol on her hood translates to the letter N, if I'm remembering correctly. I really hope that's right, otherwise this is going to be kind of weird. Here's the new Master Wu minifigure, sporting the cape as well as the updated facial hair. Really, really cool. I love the way that this Master Wu looks. He sort of looks a little bit more royal in that sense, so I really like the way that that looks, and I can't wait to see how this look sort of translates into the animation. We've already got a peek at that from a few pictures and stills that we've seen, but of course I can't wait to see this actually fully rendered and fully animated. Here's that other golden pyro snake that we saw previously, so we're not going to go ahead and stick around on that one for too long. Here's that same black pyro snake that we've seen earlier, possibly another important leader figure in the pyro snake tribe. Here's another background pyro snake. Here's another background pyro snake. Here's Lloyd in his Forbidden Spinjitzu form. Of course, we can see once again the hood is a little different and he's missing a shoulder pad similar to the other ninja that have this same elemental form. Here's another look at that same Cole minifigure that we saw earlier. Really like the look of this one. I think that was really well done. And here is the fox girl, I think her name is Akita, in her actual human form, so that's something to see. Of course, she does look a little, I don't want to say feral, but she does look like an animal, of course, with the teeth like that, and of course, you know, you can tell what she's going to turn into. And I really don't know what this character is or how significant she's actually going to be to the overall series as it is, but I'm curious to see what she's going to be doing in the next season, and I think she has something to do with the first Spinjitzu Master. That's still the theory that I have there. Whether or not that's right all remains to be seen, though. Here we have another Ice Samurai background person thing, probably cannon fodder. Here's another Ice General. Here's another background Ice Samurai. And here is the Ice Samurai himself, the Forbidden Emperor, otherwise known as the Ice Emperor. So this guy's pretty cool. He does look a little bit like Zane, though, with his blue hands, and that face sort of looks like Zane's titanium face, sort of bursting with elemental power. And whether or not this is Zane, of course, remains to be seen. And I will be doing a video in a few days, or possibly within the next few days, talking about that correlation between Zane and the Ice Samurai, or the Ice Emperor. But I really like the look of this figure. I like how he's all white. I think that looks great. And he has a nice, you know, contrast going with him when you compare him to the other villains from this wave, especially the pyro snakes. I love how those are basically, you know, the main one is just all gold or all black, and this one is just all white. I really like the way that that looks, and I like the way that this contrast has actually turned out. And here's just another Ice General there. And now we're getting into the new Forbidden Spinjitzu forms that we're actually going to be seeing in the spinner sets, the cheap, probably cheap $10 spinner sets that you can pick up. But here we have Kai, and again, what's interesting is that the mask is all gold, so that's nice. And again, I think the legs are the exact same as some of the other Ninjago minifigures. I think the legs are exactly the same as the traditional Ninjago minifigures that we're going to be seeing in the actual sets, but the torso is different, and of course he does have the golden arms. Here is Lloyd, pretty much powered up in the exact same way with the golden mask and the golden arms. So we have 4 spinner sets, 2 of which are golden and 2 of which are silver. And here we see our first look at Jay. He is of course sporting the silver as well as a new torso print, so that's really nicely done. And here's Zane doing the exact same thing with the silver. So I really like the way that that looks. I mean, overall these Forbidden Spinjitzu figures are going to be pretty cool to see, and I can't wait to go ahead and actually get a few and put them in my own collection. But with all that being said, you guys, that will just about wrap it up for our look at all of these new Ninjago minifigures for the Summer 2019 wave of sets. I hope you enjoyed my look through all of these, and I hope you enjoyed my commentary over them, and I really hope you enjoyed hearing my own thoughts on each one of these minifigures. And again, just to clarify, if you were to get every single Ninjago set in this new upcoming wave, you would end up with all of these figures. These are all the figures in the wave from what I can tell, and I really hope you enjoyed my thoughts on them. So with all that being said, that'll just about do it for this video here. Thank you so much for watching this one. If you enjoyed the video, as always, don't forget to give it a huge thumbs up rating, and of course remember to hit the subscribe button if you've not done so already. Once again guys, the comment section is there for the various discussions that you would like to have regarding this topic, or if you just had a comment of a general nature, that's fine as well. In the description, you'll find the links towards my other forms of social media, whether it be my Twitter, my Instagram, my Patreon, or my merch. Be sure to support me on all those platforms if you would like to. With all that being said, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video once again. My name is TannerFishies, and with that I bid you farewell.